state regime media known as Fox is crashing hard on live TV. You've got Mark Levin, who talks like that, just having a complete panic attack over California Governor Gavin Newsom. Here, play this clip.
I personally hope he is the nominee. He's such a loser. It's a sanctuary state, California, one of 13, by the way. Sanctuary state. I've talked at length about this whole idea of nullification and the neo-Confederacy, and that Gavin Newsom is a nullifier, and he's a Confederate. Oh, yes, he's a Confederate. Apparently so brilliant are my comments that others are repeating them now. But he's a nullifier, and he's a Confederate, a good old Democrat who pretends to be a progressive.
And then, as our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, writes, it really feels like this is MAGA abuse at this point to roll Mark Levin out and have him basically say, Donald Trump is so charismatic and Newsom's a buffoon. Here, play this clip as Mark Levin tries to say whatever the hell he's saying. Here, play this clip.
To figure it out, it's really quite simple. And not only is it Donald Trump, his personality, his charisma, it's Donald Trump, the success. Success in business, success in politics. He's a massive success. He's a winner. That's what's changing everything. Gavin Newsom is a loser. He's a buffoon. He's a clown. A little dab won't do him. No.
Then on state regime media, they bring out Byron Donalds, who's like, and the thing we all need to know is that Donald Trump's approval has never been higher. This is what they're feeding their MAGA mushbrain audience. Donald Trump's approval is the lowest in modern presidential history, perhaps presidential history. But do tell, Byron Donalds, play this clip.
Against Donald Trump and against the Republican Party, weaponizing our government to do it. So I'm very happy that the American people saw through all of this and they decided to actually save our republic, save our democracy from the insane radical left, who even still today don't have any ideas, no policy about how they're going to improve the lives of the American people. This is why Donald Trump is riding high with all-time high approval numbers from his time in public office, because he's getting the job done and delivering for the American people.
More Mark Levin whining, and he goes, compare Ron DeSantis to Gavin Newsom. There is no comparison, to which California Governor Gavin Newsom says, you're right. There's no comparison because California is the fourth largest economy in the world, number one in manufacturing in America, number one in farming in America, number one in business startups in America, number one for tech and VC investments in America, number one for Fortune 500 companies in America, number one for public higher education system in America. I could go on, but do tell, Mark Levin. Here, play this clip.
And by the way, if you noticed one other thing, take a look at this. He has all the Bill Clinton mannerisms. Oh, he does. The guy's a fake, a fraud, and a phony. Up next on our program is America's governor, Ron DeSantis. Compare Ron DeSantis to Gavin Newsom. There's no comparison. Florida is tops in every possible category, whereas California is last in every possible category. There's a big difference.
Then you have Mark Levin bring on this guy who's running as the Republican candidate for governor in California in 2026. And here he goes, and here him and Mark Levin are like, the media is now saying that the media is saying that Newsom's got good memes. He's got good memes. He doesn't got good memes. He's a failure. Here, play this clip.
And he's a good friend. And he's been tracking this morning, noon, and night for many, many years. Steve Hilton, welcome. This guy Newsom, you know, the media already starting to say he's got great memes and he knows how to capitalize letters and he's doing what Trump's doing. He's not doing what Trump's doing. Trump's a success. He's a failure, right?
He's a total failure.
Dude, this guy is such a clown. Where do they find these people? And how do people watch this and find this entertaining? All right, now let's bring on Tim Burchett, MAGA Republican Congress member, who talks about how the Epstein files must have been manipulated by the Biden regime, and that's why Donald Trump isn't turning them over. That's why the Biden did it. Aha, you've solved it, Scooby-Doo. You solved it, Scooby-Doo Burchett. Here, play this clip.
I was the one that urged the chairman in the committee to move forward the subpoena Ghislaine Maxwell. I think we need to get to the bottom of it. And I think President Trump wants to get to the bottom of it. And you know good and well, if Trump was on any of those files, anything that was bad and negative towards him, the Biden administration would have put it out. They had it for 4 years. Trump knew this guy, and he said he was a dirtbag. He banned him from Mar-a-Lago over 15 years ago before he was suicided. So I just think this thing is a bad situation. And I don't know if we'll ever get to the bottom of it, because I don't trust the Biden administration, because they had those files for 4 years. I don't know what they've removed or doctored or changed. I don't trust them as far as I could throw the dome off the Capitol, brother. And dadgummit, we need to get to the bottom of it. That's why people, when you delay these things, it just allows the corruption to creep in. And I think that's what has happened now.
Again, what are you talking about? Donald Trump was like best friends with Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell in the late 80s, 90s, until about 2004. Trump's all over Epstein's flight log, phone log, black book, you name it. They hung out together. Trump says he's a great guy. Epstein and Ghislaine sex trafficked people from Mar-a-Lago. Undisputed facts. They'd bring underage girls to Mar-a-Lago, like Jane Doe, who testified in Ghislaine Maxwell's trial. But all right, try to rehabilitate convicted sex traffickers, Burchett and MAGA Republicans and Trump. I mean, it's par for the course when your leader, Donald Trump, is a sexual predator, is someone found liable for sexual assault. You know, we have audio of Donald Trump saying he grabs women by their genitals because when you're rich, you get away with it. We have that audio. We have Donald Trump on audio saying that he likes to inspect the girls at the beauty pageants. He inspects them naked. It's on audio recording. Like, we have it. Anyway, then you have Ron DeSantis whining about the 2020 census and said, really, Florida was gypped in the 2020 census. The 2020 census was like the most unfair thing ever. Donald Trump was in office during the 2020 census, and why it was unfair while it was during COVID, it undercounted a lot in Democratic states, and people wanted a more thorough census. Lots of people believe that census had problems to help Donald Trump and MAGA Republicans, not hurt them, but sure, go and whine, because that's all these people are. They're whiners. Here, play this clip.
Florida has been growing. It's been growing a lot since I've been governor. But even before that, it was adding population, not at the same rate. And we got shortchanged in the last census. We should have had 2 or 3 seats. We only got 1 seat, and that was really the Biden administration's doing. So we are working with the Attorney General in Florida, James Uthmeyer, to talk to the Commerce Department. He's written a letter. Even Biden's administration a couple years after acknowledged Florida got shortchanged. So we're asking them to redo that as best they can, award us another seat. That would obviously trigger us have to do a new map if we went from 28 to 29 or even to 30.
Speaking of whiners, they then bring on Ted Cruz, and Ted Cruz whines that California is retaliating against Texas by gerrymandering the way Texas did, but California is doing it by opening it up to a ballot initiative so that the people of California can vote for it, not just the way they're doing it in Texas, where they're just straight up rigging the maps. But whine about it, Ted Cruz. Play this clip.
I agree with you, Mark. If California does this, Texas ought to go back. We can redraw our map to elect all Republicans. If they're going to do that, Gavin Newsom is telling you he doesn't care about democracy. He cares about Democrats being in power. If they're going to do that, we ought to press back. And because the Democrats have been so abusive on this, if Newsom wants to start this arms race, there are a bunch of other Republican states that can redraw their maps. And at the end of the day, we would see a significant increase between 12 and 14 new Republicans in the House if every state starts doing this. So Newsom ought to be really careful about the fights he's picking.
And here's the thing with these sociopaths, the Trumps, the Cruzes, the Mark Levins, this whole MAGA movement. When you punch them back, they then play victim. Oh my God, you're going after me. It's like when Canada does retaliatory tariffs. They're like, oh my God, these retaliatory tariffs are so unfair. retaliatory, meaning you went first, so they had to take action because of what you're doing. Anyway, then you have this host on Fox complaining that Confederate monuments were taken down, and because Confederate monuments were taken down, now slavery should not be taught, and references to slavery should be removed from museums. Play this clip.
Lisa, what do you make of it?
Well, he has the authority to remove it. And then obviously someone made the determination to insert it into some of these museums. So I don't see how that's any different for him making the determination to remove some of this. And he's not erasing history. He's removing propaganda about our history. That's his issue. Things like the 1619 Project. We just went through 4 years where we were told by our own president of the United States, Joe Biden, to basically hate America, that America's evil, it's racist, it's all these terrible things. And then he, on his election in 2024, said, no, America is exceptional. We're going to be a great again, America first, and that's what Americans wanted. And if you want to talk about erasing history, in 2020 alone, the left took down at least, I think, over 160 Confederate statues and, symbols. That's removing and trying to erase history.
Well said.
You see, Fox, we believe you should teach about the Confederacy. You shouldn't ignore that part of our history. That's the bad part of history, when they wanted to destroy the Union, the United States. The pro-slave bad guys are bad guys. So let's teach about them. We don't need to build monuments in their honor to celebrate them. You see, there's a difference. The same way we should teach about slavery. We should teach what happened because that's the reality. But not in MAGA's world. Then you have MAGA Republican senator from Tennessee, Marsha Blackburn, and she's like, the reality is the Democrats are out of touch. Donald Trump's the greatest. We love Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump. They're like AI bots, like AI Donald Trump propaganda bots. You wind them up. I'm not sure that's the way AI bots go. Then go bot, go. Here, play this clip.
And they are out of touch. They keep trying to find a footing. But what we know is this. President Trump is strong, they are weak, and the American people are figuring that out.
Then more whining from these Fox Weekend loser hosts about Cracker Barrel's stock declining because they got rid of the logo that has the old white guy on it, and that's apparently a woke move by Cracker Barrel. Not really following this one. I'm not really following any of their culture war issues. But MAGA's very happy that an American company that employs Americans is having their stock price harmed because of some weird MAGA astroturfed culture war. Okay, go. Play this clip.
Welcome back. It's time now for big weekend flops or picks for the biggest fails of the week. I'll go first. Cracker Barrel unveiled its new logo, which removes its iconic man sitting by a barrel. The company is receiving a massive backlash from customers, and its stock plunged this week. Good. Brian?
Okay.
And they're really upset, by the way, that Gen Alpha is using words like clanker. Here, play this clip.
Generation has its own lingo, but Gen Alpha is taking its strange slang to another level. The younger generation is making up words like clanker, 6-7, chopped, and crash out.
Oh, and then we have Alina Habba whining that she was so qualified to become the United States attorney, but after her term expired, the judges in New Jersey, the federal judges, didn't want to extend her term. Here, play this clip.
Senator Booker and Senator Kim had absolutely every right to vote no for me for the U.S. attorney position, but I had the right as the nominee to get in front of Senate and to be voted on, to be vetted. I never even got there. Of course not. I was, according to them, unqualified.
Again, what's just up with this whining? Oh, and then Jim Jordan putting his arm around Ghislaine Maxwell, the convicted sex trafficker, and saying, see, Ghislaine says that Donald Trump was a gentleman. Let's listen to the convicted sex trafficker. Well, Jim Jordan, you kind of have a history of covering up sex abuse. That's like your MO, right? Like that's what you did when you were a gym coach, and you seem to be pretty good at covering up for sexual predators and sexual abusers. Good work, Jim Jordan. You'd never pass the bar exam, but you lead the Judiciary Committee. Well done. Play this clip.
We'll see. What I know is they didn't release parts of the transcript. They released the whole transcript. And you know, so you can go through the whole thing. And, of course, this confirms what we all knew. If the Democrats, if President Trump had done something wrong, you don't think the Democrats would have released that? I mean, it was their Justice Department who handled all this. You don't think the Garland Justice Department and the Chris Wray FBI would have released information? We knew President Trump didn't do anything wrong here. He said that repeatedly. This transcript is the whole transcript, and it confirms that. So yeah, I think there's nothing there. It seems based on what we got from the interview of Miss Maxwell.
So ridiculous, these clowns. Anyway, we're going to keep on calling it out here and exposing the propaganda tactics. At the MeidasTouch Network, we're calling them out. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers. Thanks as always for watching.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.